New to learning about UFOs, want recommendations. Hello. I have always been interested in alien stories, movies, UFO stories and documentaries, but I feel that I am still really in the dark when it comes to finding this information. I have trouble discerning who is credible or not and what to look up. I would love to get some names and stories, interviews, podcasts, movies, etc. that anyone suggests for me to look into to gain more knowledge on UFOs and UFO abduction stories. I grew up watching Ancient Aliens on the TV with my dad at night. It was something that got me interested in this, along with science fiction books like the Robot City series written by Isaac Asimov that included robots and aliens in it. I also loved the Fifth Element film too. I recently saw Fire in the Sky and Contact and thought those films were great. I saw The Fourth Kind film when I was in middle school and it really scared me. I hadn't heard of the concept of scary aliens before until I saw that film. And it got me interested into learning more about UFO abductions and what people's stories are and if they share similarities. If anyone has recommendations on where to get more information about UFOs and UFO abduction stories, I would love to hear it. This is a fun hobby for me and just something I am curious about, so I am always interested in learning as much as I can about it. The current UFO abduction stories I know about and crashes are the Roswell UFO crash, Calvin Parker's UFO abduction story, the abduction story of Betty and Barney Hill, the story in The Fourth Kind film, Tavis Walton's abduction story, stories about crop circles though not abduction related, still interesting AF to me. Gary Nolan on the Lexington Friedman podcast, things Edward Snowden has said on the Joe Rogan podcast. Unfortunately, he did not find any UFO info when he was looking into what the government was doing and exposing it. The various people Joe Rogan has had on his podcast discussing UFOs or abduction stories. And Bob Lazar's story, as well as what Richard Doty did to Paul Benowitz. Sorry for misspellings on names, etc. As I go on YouTube though, there's many more videos suggested to me. And I feel like I've only seen a very small amount of UFO information out there. I would love to see and learn more. I feel I have only touched the surface. Though it's hard for me to know what's credible or not. What's exaggerated or what's lies or what's honest. Maybe I can never fully know that. But I would love for this community to suggest me some stuff to watch and listen to help broaden what I currently know. I also have heard about Project Blue Book, Project Montauk, the Rainbow Experiment, the Nazi UFO Bell Project. Though I don't know much about that one other than that title. Admiral Byrd and his trip to Alaska where he met with aliens that sound similar to the Pleiadian aliens. The Denver International Airport conspiracies and the reptilian conspiracies involved in it. I know a little bit about David Icke, but to me he's about as credible and extreme as Alex Jones. And isn't someone I necessarily enjoy listening to or trusting. Not to tip on anyone's toes here. I'm sure plenty of people enjoy those two guys. But they just aren't really my cup of tea personally. However, I do find their stories interesting indeed. And I know not all of the conspiracies I mention relate to UFOs, but a lot of the information surrounding them sometimes gets tied in with aliens, alien technology, and alien experiments, etc. I find all of this interesting. I'm sure there's more things I have seen and heard. But I can't remember it all right now. Those are just some of the few that stick out to me that I would love to learn more about. If anyone has recommendations on where to go from here, let me know. On a funnier, lighter note, I did see the episode in Adventure Time, where Tree Trunks gets abducted by aliens and has a ton of babies with them. And I thought that was a fun nod to the UFO community. An UFO abductee community by Pendleton Ward, so if anyone wants to check that out for some laughs and entertainment, I recommend it. It's a great show. So is Rick and Morty: An Inside Job. If anyone has shows similar like that for fun to recommend for me to watch, feel free to comment them to me. Best wishes and thanks for listening to my long rambling misspelled question about UFO stuff. Post from user Rainbow Ganja Goddess at Reddit.